Welcome to Evolution in Controls. I'm your host, Tim Wilson. Thank you for joining us. In the fast-evolving world of product technology, development, and manufacturing, it's crucial for the OEMs of mobile equipment to maintain a competitive edge and meet the ever-increasing demands of their applications. But doing so can be a significant challenge when multiple suppliers are involved in the supply of products that are intended to be complementary. Different manufacturers have different specification levels, and product ranges do not necessarily mesh neatly. Mismatched products or specification gaps can cause conflicts that lead to operational problems, production delays, and ultimately drain profitability. In mobile applications, the drivetrain is one application where performance degradation can quickly become a real-world result of capacity constraints and poorly aligned operational ranges. Yet finding a complementary set of products can be a daunting task. Are mobile OEMs left with little alternatives to vetting and researching spec sheets and performance graphs? What options exist when one manufacturer's product falls short of the next manufacturer's offering? Here to talk about a complete drivetrain package from Bosch Rexroth is Mr. Scott Moss, Sales Product Manager, Gear Transmission Units. Scott, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's start out by you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Scott Moss. I'm a Sales Product Manager for Gear Transmission Units at Bosch Rexroth. I have over 25 years in the mobile equipment and power transmission fields.
Okay, so we're here to talk about gearboxes, but let's back up and just talk about a drivetrain. What are the components of a drivetrain, and how do gearboxes fit in, and why are they important?
There are several components for the hydraulic system in mobile equipment. The hydraulic pumps and motors, fixed or variable displacement, the control system, and the gearbox is a key part of that as the final drive. It effectively supplies the torque to the machine to be able to move it.
To the wheel or the motor or the track.
That's right.
So the gearbox is the last item in the train, right?
It is.
And then the input to the gearbox is some kind of motor. It's not a pump, is it? It's a motor.
It's a motor. It could be both hydraulic or electric, depending on the system setup. And the gearbox allows the motor to operate in its most efficient state. With hydraulic motors, that's low torque, high speed, and allows the gearbox to do the work for driving the torque. Same thing with electric input. The electric drives are more efficient in a higher speed scenario, and the gearbox allows it to operate in that most effective state.
So this is the specification mismatch. This is where one needs to be matched to the other. Can there be a mismatch between a gearbox and a motor?
There could be, and that's where we come in with Rexroth and can provide the complete system. We have a lot of tools and resources available to us, and a lot of knowledge of being able to match up the right motors with the gearbox itself, and be able to provide allows us to set the drive system, and allows our customers to focus on their core competencies of the machine.
So has Rexroth been making gearboxes a long time? Is this a new product to them?
It's not a new product. Bosch Rexroth has been making gearboxes as a core focus business since about 1955.
Where are they made? Are they made here in America?
Currently, they're made globally, but within 2024, we will have production in North America for our North American market.
They're stocked here, available here?
They will be. It's going to provide several benefits from a lead time standpoint and the transportation time to get to our customers, effectively lowering the lead times on products, and also reduce transportation costs substantially.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the technology and the benefits of that technology. Why should a mobile OEM care that we supply both the gearbox and the motor, whether hydraulic or electric?
Well, it allows the performance increase of the machine when the system is matched up properly with the right motor, the right pumps, the right controls, and the right gearbox ratio-wise, and allows us to tweak the displacements of the motors and to match up with the ratio of the gearbox to provide the required torque for the application and provide the most effective and efficient solution.
So is the benefit that the OEM sees, they're their machine works better? Is that?
Yes, the system is much improved when the system is designed and functions properly and in the most efficient state.
From a competitive standpoint, does Bosch Rexroth's gearbox offering, does it offer competitive advantages?
It does. We have four core product lines. We have our travel drives, we have our slew drives, for which are typically on like crane type applications, swing slew drives. We have our winch drives, and we have our EGFZ, our electrification E-line product line. Each of those products are set for either a hydraulic or electric drive system.
All right.
And that's one of the benefits that our products provide, is essentially the same gearbox can be used whether it's a hydraulic system or an electric drive system, with the difference being the input module and additional input module to allow for additional reduction coming from electric motor, which operates more efficiently at higher speeds.
You've talked about 4 ranges, and we should drop some specifications in here. How big are these gearboxes? You've mentioned crane slewing drives. I'm thinking that's big.
Yeah, so our travel drives standard travel drives range from about 1,000 foot-pounds on our smallest unit to about 100,000 foot-pounds.
Is that output?
That is output torque.
Yeah,
that's output torque. And then we have a large range of gearboxes that start in the 100,000 foot-pound output torque and go up to about 500,000 foot-pounds right now. Currently, we're working on some things that may even go higher than that in the future. Our slew drives and our winch drives, the range is a little smaller. It ranges from about 10,000 foot-pounds up to about 75,000 foot-pounds.
We talked about mismatched in the introduction. I'm assuming that given these 4 sizes or size ranges that you talked about, the pumps, the electric pumps, or maybe the motors, they match up nicely with these gearbox sizes?
That's correct. Our pumps and motors are set. We have a lot of tools and resources available to us to be able to make sure that we set the right pump and motor hydraulic configuration with the gearbox and the electric gear drives as well.
You know, you just mentioned tools about selection. Is this selection process hard? Does it require tools, or is it simply just picking something out of a catalog?
It's not picking out of a catalog. We work closely with our customer engineering groups to get all the details of the machine and the application to be able to right size the gearbox, to be able to do the job, and to be able to set the system, the complete system, whether it's controls, whether it's hydraulics, whether it's electric, to be able to set the system, the complete system for our customers, working with their engineering groups, and allows them to focus on their core competencies on the machine.
So it's a collaborative effort with the OEM's design people, and I assume they welcome you guys coming in with your design tools.
It absolutely is a collaborative effort, and it is very much welcomed by our customers, very much value added that we offer.
Well, earlier on you talked about E-Lion and electric motors. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's a new technology, correct?
It is a relatively new technology. Electrification is a disruptive technology in the market that is probably more so than any we've seen in the last couple of decades. It's really a push that a lot of manufacturers are going towards. Rexroth has a complete line of, we call it our E-Line products, that incorporates all of our gearboxes. And it also with electric motor inputs. So we have the travel drives, the slew drives with the electric input. We add and in order to do that, it allows essentially the same gearboxes to be used in both hydraulic and electric applications. So
doesn't matter which motor, hydraulic or electric.
Right. The main difference is that the electric gear drives have an additional reduction ratio on the input that's that's oil cooled to be able to cool the unit for the higher speeds that's required by the electric drives. And there's also an option for external cooling on those.
Electric motors typically have a higher speed range than hydraulic motors. Is that correct?
That's correct. To operate in their most effective state, electric motors are higher speed. So you have to have that additional reduction to be able to accommodate for that. And Rexroth has done a great job across our product line of incorporating that. And in addition to, one of the issues with electrification is the cost. With the copper content, with the battery content. So in a lot of cases, the least number of motors you can have in a system, the less expensive it is. So another product that we have is our EGFZ product line, which is a drop box used for axle drive applications. We have both a single speed and a 2-speed, and we have a differential unit that allows for both for 2-wheel or 4-wheel drive operation in those units.
And again, doesn't matter whether it's a hydraulic motor or an electric motor?
Those are designed for the electric.
They are designed for the electric?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're coming to the close of the time today. I always like to take a look at what the future looks like. Where do you think we're going to be at in 5 years from now? New developments in product, just a greater adoption? What do you think the next 5 years looks like?
Well, I think one of the keys is our North American production to be able to provide better service and quicker service to our customers. That's certainly first and foremost. Electrification is a disruptive technology in the market that's probably the most disruptive that we've seen in the last several decades. But
you've got a gearbox for that.
We have a gearbox. We have a complete package solution for electrification applications.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for the time today. Maybe in a couple of years you'll come back and be a guest again, and we'll be able to talk about some of these applications, maybe even the gearbox on an E-Lion system.
Thanks, Tim.
Scott, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You bet. To learn more about Bosch Rexroth and their mobile solutions, visit boschrexroth.com. To learn more about Morel and their systems and solutions, visit morel-group.com. Don't forget to subscribe to Evolution in Controls on whatever platform you use for podcasts or on YouTube for a video version so you can be updated when we release new episodes. Thank you again for joining us today. I'm Tim Wilson, and remember, keep moving.